Hey guys, today I'm actually gonna show you how to publish your research work as a preprint. First of all, what is a preprint? A preprint is just a step before the actual publication. So it's your research work that is not peer reviewed, which is not formally submitted for a formal publication on a journal, right? So the reason why people go for preprints is there are a lot of reasons. Number one is it gets your work earlier there. It exposes your work like we are the first to do this. And the second is the actual publication can take a lot of time. You know, sometimes it takes a lot of months. Sometimes it takes even years. So with the preprint, you actually expose your work outside there that we are the first people to do it. But it is also a formal research work. It should be polished and it should be in the standard of an actual research publication, right? So today I'm actually gonna show you how to publish your work as a preprint. So this paper here, this is just basically an assignment we are given in school. um, I actually submitted this for publication 3 days ago as a preprint. My strategy to learning in school is this: that anytime we are given a work, I will actually do my assignment and submit it for my grades. But I will also further refine that research work for actual publication. So I just don't stop on the in the class and on the grades, just like I was doing in high school. So I actually submitted this work, but I'm gonna use this work to show you how to submit your work as a preprint, right? So I'm gonna go to Firefox. Yeah. So there are a lot of preprint servers. You have arXiv, you have bioarchive, and you have this one here called Research Square. I actually love Research Square more because it is very easy, it is very straightforward, and you know they just have a very clean interface, right? So inside Research Square, you have to log in. Here it is written Cheroba Sirujala. This is because I'm actually logged in automatically by the system, right? So what you have to do, you have to click on submit a preprint or submit a preprint. It's basically all the same. I'm gonna click on submit a preprint. Okay, so if you have never used Research Square before, it's gonna prompt you to create an account, right? So you just have to fill in the steps to register your name and some steps. And here are the steps we need to follow. They are basically six. Um, First of them is to enter the manuscript title. So for the manuscript title, you can just basically paste in from your document. I'm just gonna copy this here and I'm gonna paste it here. So I'll click on get started. Okay, this title is already posted here. We will continue to follow the progress of your journal submission if you need. Okay, this is because I mentioned it has already been submitted here. I have submitted this here 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Let me just tweak this. Okay, get started. Okay, so here it says, now here is where you have to upload your manuscript. You have to upload in either in a docs or PDF. I generally recommend uploading it as a docs file. In that way it can be edited by the system. So this is it here. I'm gonna browse to open through my folders, and here it is, application of computer vision models. Yeah, so it's gonna be loaded into the system. Now once it is completed, you have to add the basic information and files for your preprint. You have to click on this. So this is the title, and here you have to set the article type. This is basically a research article. It's not a case study. It's not a systematic review. It's a research article. It is like doing everything from scratch, right? So I'm gonna click on research article and enter your manuscript areas of study. I'm just gonna enter artificial intelligence and machine learning, and then agriculture. Yeah, and edit title. Okay, it's cool. Title is cool, and I'm just gonna save this. So now we have to add the author's information. So add author. So in some research works, your paper or your work is actually gonna be a co-authored work, right? Meaning you actually do this work with others. You didn't do this alone, right? So in that case, you have to add all of those authors' information. In this case, I'm the only author here. It's just an assignment. I'm gonna add my name, Cherno Mashiru Jallo, institution. So it generally depends. Okay, I'll just say MRC unit, the Gambia, and email. Most of the time, I recommend you using your school email. So if you are in this, if you are in the UTG, you can say something like CJ your mat number at utg.gm, right? So I'm just CJ 2526108 at utg.edu.gm. Yeah, I think it's something like this. And we have this ORCID. So this is just a digital identity number or URL for researchers. So it's just like a LinkedIn, but specifically for researchers. Every researcher basically have this. So to know your ORCID, you just have to most of the time go to this website. You can create one for free. If you are a scientific researcher, you can create one for free. There's no payment. So for corresponding author, I'm gonna click on this tick here. The corresponding author basically means for instance, you have a lot of authors in a particular research work who should be responsible for all of the communication, for all of the email drafting and paper submission. Corresponding author. Okay. Wait, I don't even remember my. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. gmail.com, and I'm gonna type in. Okay, it's gonna send in. So this is my ORCID identity. I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it inside this URL here, right? So basically this URL it contains all of the information and all of your research related activities. Even if your name changes or the name of your website changes, this is actually gonna be there permanently. And after adding all of the details, I'm just gonna click on save. Yeah, now moving on to the next part, basically the abstract. So now enter the manuscript abstract. This is basically something that you just copy from your research work. What this abstract basically means, if you have listened to my previous video, this is just the first thing that comes into place when you open a research paper, and it's just like a summary of everything, right? So I'm gonna go into my work and I'm gonna copy my abstract. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it here. And the keywords also, as I mentioned in my previous video, are the most used and the most used terms in your work, and it sometimes also refers to your areas of study. And if this work was funded, you're gonna add the funder information, right? It happens a lot of research. Sometimes in research, rather, sometimes you have grants and funding for your research work. Add the necessary ethics declaration. Okay, so if this study involves any human subjects, you actually have to acknowledge here. In this case, no. Yeah, and I'm gonna save my declaration. Okay. So if your work also has any competing interest, you have to mention it here. In this case, this is just an assignment in class, right? So there is no competing interest, there is no intentions behind this. Just submitting this to boost my research profile. So I'm gonna click on, yeah, and after everything you have to click on save. Okay, so here is edit figures. Now, in case most of the time, if you are conducting research, you have these diagrams, these data sets, these figures, these images. If you have any in your work, you have to upload them here, right? So for supplementary files, I'm just gonna add one, and for this one, it's gonna be just my cover letter, my motivation for actually the research. So I'm actually gonna tell the editors that, hey, I'm submitting this paper titled this for consideration, for publication. So I'm just gonna drop it there, and then okay, okay, here it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna shift. Okay. So, which was the primary institution that sponsored or organized this research? So, in case you are working with an affiliate institution that has granted you funding, or that has sponsored your work, you have to mention them here, right? If not, you just omit it. So, in this case, who organized this research? This can be my school. I can say, sorry, University of the Gambia, right? So I'm gonna save the institution. So saving is actually to submit. Once you are ready, click submit below. Okay, I'm gonna click on submit, and I'm gonna click sub. So now, as I mentioned, that I have already submitted this work for preprint consideration, right? So I'm not actually gonna go ahead and submit this again, but this is just the final stage. Once you click on submit, it's gonna send you a confirmation email through the email that you mentioned, that you indicated, right? So one thing also about Research Square, it is indexed by Google Scholar, and it is indexed by Google. So I published one in high school. I'm just gonna type on Google Lowell AI. Okay, so as you can see, this is the actual publication now. Before it was published, this is the publication. This isn't a preprint. This is a preprint. As you can see, this is indexed by Google Scholar, and this is ResearchGate that indexed this from Research Square. If I happen to go to Google Scholar, this was the preprint, right? So it is indexed by Google Scholar. So this is basically about it. If you guys need videos on actual research work publications, not only preprint, do make sure to mention in the comment section below, and I will check it out. So for now, see you guys later.